This week in Texas, we look back at the historic lunar mission during which Houston and Johnson Space Center played a central role. And we sit down with both candidates in the Republican runoff for Harris County Judge, Orlando Sanchez and Warren Howell. Plus, we talk about voter excitement versus voter fatigue with our political insiders Angel Carroll and JC Jatan. This week in Texas.
Welcome back. I'm joined now by the top vote getter in the Republican primary for Harris County Judge, Orlando Sanchez. Thanks so much for being with us.
Good to be with you, Tom.
I remember covering you on city council in like the turn of the century.
A quarter century ago.
And so from between that time on city council and running for mayor, you were Harris County attorney for a while.
County treasurer.
Or county treasurer, sorry. Tell me why you want to be the Harris County Judge.
Well, in the last 8 years, we've all seen what the shift and change in political party and direction of the county has been. Taxes are up, crime is up, the courts are out of control, criminals aren't being adjudicated, flood control isn't being taken care of. We still have money in the pot from the bond issue we passed in 2018. So it's time to get Harris County back to work.
So you feel like over the last 4 to 8 years, Harris County hasn't been doing what it should be for constituents?
Well, it's not just me. I think it's everybody. If you look at the criminal justice system, the courts are backed up, the cases are backed up, the jail is overcrowded, flood projects that were already designed by the flood control district haven't been implemented. And the problem is, as you probably know, there's a value to money over time. So what we could have bought in 2018, we can't purchase today because of inflation, labor costs, material costs. So the taxpayers are getting whacked at every turn.
So where do you start if you're elected? With that long laundry list of items, what's the first one?
First responsibility of government is to protect its citizens. So law enforcement, number one. I'm glad that the Sheriff's Department and the constables got a pay increase, much deserved. We need to continue to take care of them. After the criminal justice system, we need to address the court backlog, and we're going to work with the courts and the judges, and then we're going to look at flood control and infrastructure projects. We're going to look at the excessive amount of money that the toll road is taking in, which a huge portion of it is scraped off every year and given to the commissioners in their precincts. Now, some of them legitimately use that for road improvement and transit improvement. But some are acting like this is an asset management firm and they're just stockpiling the money. So we're going to look at potentially have a use it or lose it policy to make sure that that money goes back to HECTRA. We paid down the debt and perhaps give a break to the toll road users on fees.
Now they've done that on Harris County toll roads. They've reduced it for people who have the easy tags. There's more room to lower those tolls then?
Well, when they have over $450 million a year, they're generating an excess revenue once you do your maintenance and pay your debt service. Yeah, there's plenty of room.
What about the Harris County Jail? I know that has long been a conversation of concern among people in the county. What do you do to address the ongoing issues at the jail and the fact that the county outsources some of that work?
Well, they have no recourse other than to outsource, and the reason that the county jail is overbooked is because the judges aren't adjudicating the criminals. So they have to be housed for a time until they're adjudicated, and if they're found guilty, of course, they should be and are quickly removed to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. But that's the backlog. Now, I'll remind you that unlike the city, where the mayor is the King Kong of the municipality, the county judge is somewhat limited because all of the officials in Harris County are sovereignly elected. So the county judge and commissioners can't tell the sheriff what to do or the district attorney. They are responsible to the voters. Now, we can make suggestions, we can work with the sheriff and find the resources necessary to alleviate the situation. But it's going to take a multidisciplinary approach to reduce the population at the jail.
Now, the sheriff and the district attorney, both Democrats, you're a Republican. Can you work across the aisle to get things done?
Have for years. I served on the city council, as you know, with mayors that leaned Democrat. I had the opportunity to cut property taxes. As a city councilman, I won a Political Courage Award by the Republican Party for cutting city property taxes for the first time in decades, along with Democrat colleagues. I remember that my old friend Chris Bell voted with us. So when we work in a bipartisan way, it becomes about us and not about them. And I want to bring government back to addressing the issues that affect us as a community. I think once the election is over, we're all in this fight together.
So when we talk about all these issues, one that keeps coming up, infrastructure and flood mitigation, does the county have the money to address those things as all of them continue to age and flood mitigation may or may not have been appropriately handled since Harvey?
The answer is probably not. I've been away from the county for 8 years. Flood infrastructure requires so much money, but that's not the problem. The problem is, you know, and I moved to Houston in 1962. 610 wasn't even built. So I've watched this community explode. But not only that, it's Montgomery County, it's Waller County, it's our surrounding counties. And as these counties develop and they pour more concrete, well, where does it flow? It's got to flow through Harris County. So even if we had all the money in the world, Tom, we still need to work cooperatively with our neighbors to the north and to the west. So we can't fix this problem by ourselves. We're going to have legislative help. We're going to have to work with the Galveston-Houston Area Council, our partners in different counties, the county judges in different counties, and we're going to have to work with FEMA. We've gotten new flood map plane maps, and so we're going to have to make a pretty large regional readjustment.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right. I do want to ask you this. How is a runoff different when it's just you and one other as opposed to multiple candidates?
Yeah, it's vastly different. There are a lot of issues that we have to focus on. The question is, for every candidate, whatever side of the aisle you're on, who's going to turn out? We're not going to have the time or the resources we had during a long stretch of campaign where we had 6-7 months to develop the resources and target voters. So the question for us is going to be who's going to turn out and how do we focus and message those voters.
All right, and you don't have a lot of time to do it.
We don't. We're a little over a month away.
All right, Orlando Sanchez, a candidate for Harris County Judge in the Republican runoff. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Tom.